Well, I've got my interesting get up today. I've got my alligators up here in my hat and my Salt Lick Barbecue t shirt. All I was going to talk about was why people are the way they are. And it's really weird. I think that you're not going to believe it, really. But if you do a lot of research, you come to a very strange conclusion that, I've talked about it in some of my other videos, that we seem to be in a matrix hologram. And as far as what's coming to my mind that I'm speaking to you, if you're in a matrix hologram, the idea that you've got a brain that's creating all of this is kind of far fetched. It's more like it's arising from definitely intelligence, and where it's coming from. Some people maybe say other dimensions, maybe some kind of supercomputers are creating this stuff. Um, but, whether it's coming from your noggin in here, it's, for me, it's hard to believe. It's very hard to believe. Um, I see so many things that, for my life, it's like Truman and the Truman Show. I see things that are unexplainable other than they're set up. They're set up and they're holographic inserts into what I used to think was a planet, a globe that spun around once a day and traveled around the Earth once a year. I don't believe it's true. It's simulated at best, but you can read about the Pleiadians and the Pleiadian agendas and things, and where they talk about how there's different interdimensionals that will drop holograms into our plain ordinary hologram, and that's how they make things synchronize and give you an apparent idea that, well, if I'm having synchronicities, it must be like the Celestine prophecy and I'm having a spiritual awakening. It's not true. You're not having a spiritual awakening. You're being manipulated by the people that manipulate the hologram and have a lovely time giving you a hard time or giving you a wonderful time, whatever they decide to do. And who they are and what their agenda is, I haven't been able to figure it out, and this has been going on for about 3 years for me, where I've been feeling like we're in this Matrix hologram, even though the Matrix movies came out around 1999. I didn't believe it was true in 1999, but I believe it's true now. There's no other way to explain the synchronicities that I see and the things that go on. It's definitely a hologram, and it's being manipulated. And is it pleasant? No, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. The people that run the hologram, whatever they are, whether they're artificial intelligence or they're just evil bastards, they truly are nasty, horrible things. And I talked a little bit about this in another video, so you can go dig through all my videos. So as far as being comedic, whatever, they don't have me being comedic. What you're getting from me is what the hologram is giving you, because basically, whatever this human body is, it's a hologram, and it apparently is solid. And, is it happy? It's not a happy hologram. No, the hologram is actually kind of torturing me. It's been giving me nightmares, and it kind of keeps me locked up in one city. It doesn't allow me to travel to other cities, and it kind of occludes me from certain people, and it does funny things with electronics when I walk around. I don't know how to figure out who they are and what they are. You can read different books and different people's channelings and the things that they've gotten. Whether any of it's true, I don't know, but somewhere there is an answer, and how you ever get to it, I don't know. This hologram is apparently very large. You can go and go and go. You can travel across an apparent continent and see all kinds of really weird things, and really weird things will happen to you. And as far as getting behind it, it's like Robert Anton Wilson. You can look up Robert Anton Wilson, and he talked about it many years ago, how weird this world is, and it is very weird. And as I said, even if you're a rich elite person, if you're like a multi-billionaire or whatever, I don't think your life is really that great. You see the famous rock stars that suicide themselves. Clearly, they're not happy, and whether it's voluntary or not, the hologram basically makes your body do what it does. The hologram makes you speak, makes you sing, either good or not good, and it basically controls the events of your life, the other people that come in and out of your life. It controls the price of beer, controls the price of gas, and basically it pretends that there's corporations that own up most of the property in the city anyway. And, all the nice pieces of property that you might like to have as a house or a cottage or a vacation property are already bought up by somebody else. And, the prices that they're making them available, at least for me, they're unaffordable. And so, it's not like I blame the government, and I'm not really saying that the individual people who are rich should be blamed, because I really don't think they have any choice in the matter. I think that they are, most people probably were like me and didn't know that they were being manipulated. And probably to this day, there's a lot of people that have no clue that they are, just like in the Matrix movies. That's the way it is. But in my eyes, that's the way it is. And, whatever they are, they're manipulated into saying what they do. And it's really horrible, horrible. And as far as Earth ascension goes and going to some other dimensions, it's probably a manipulation too. I mean, the whole thing is just a ongoing nightmare. And, as far as I see it, the little things in life, maybe seeing some cute birds fly by is kind of nice. And, seeing nice flower displays somewhere is kind of nice. And if you get a halfway decent day and you get to go to sit in the sun, it's kind of nice. But, it's really not been very much fun, working for a living, doing the different jobs that I've done. I wouldn't say that any of my jobs have been terribly thrilling or fulfilling. And it's not like I'm not educated. I'm very educated. Just the way the hologram has made my life really lack of opportunities and the other thing is that they don't give me ideas. They don't give me good ideas to act on, so I don't come up with a great business idea and, run with it. And so do I blame myself? Well, whatever I am, no, I don't blame myself, because I'm really not in control. And people that tell you that, there's something wrong with you, you need to be doing something, and then you're racking your brain, I can't come up with something. Well, it's not like you're not racking your brain. It's like basically you're being occluded from any good ideas. And in the end, very few people get good ideas that break through the clutter of it all. I mean, you're already going to invent a new car or something, and and you have to go and get billions of dollars to build a car plant or something. Or, nobody builds a little craft place where they make custom cars, and then you'd have to get it through all the government regulations and pay for all that. Nobody does any little science experiments in their basement to cure cancer or, whatever. Maybe people do a little bit of homemade jewelry or custom restorations. I guess there's some little odd things on the side like that. But, running a restaurant it's hard to make a buck at it. Basically, you got to, if you're going to be in a mall, you pay outrageous rents. And if you got to buy a building, well, you pay outrageous real estate, or you got to rent. The rent, if you look at Vancouver, British Columbia, where I used to live, the rent is so high that the retailers are all going out of business. They just say it's not worth it anymore. So, and people say, I talked to an American today that said, oh, it's capitalism, it's wonderful, and, you can start a business and you can become well off and you can do so well. Well, no, most people don't. Most people are, getting by working for minimum wage at Walmart, or they get to a point where they manage to get Social Security and they get a government check. So, in the end, the hologram is horrible. And, as far as trying to change yourself to make things change on the outside, I've been at it a very long time and the world has not changed. It's got worse. And, as for the simulated Earth ascension, well, I'll tell you that I do get very tired and it knocks me on my ass and I have to sleep a lot and I get tinnitus of the ears and electronic things that I'm around tend to go and like computers crash and lights and things go out when I don't turn them out, and on my Facebook Messenger, the messenger buttons press themselves. I just watch the buttons get pressed. So, it's all the hologram doing this, whoever is running the hologram. It's not me, it's not my aura or anything else. I don't have anything like that. I've never seen it. Uh, I don't believe in these energies. I don't believe in anything other than it's a hologram, and the things that I'm telling you right now are coming from the people that run the hologram or the computer that runs the hologram. You can look up Philip K. Dick's book, Valis. It was all about his story about running up to the end of his life. He believed that it was true that there was a computer that was running him and running his environment. And, he's already written about it, so I guess there's no use me writing a book about it. And, they don't have me doing that. So, as far as doing anything about it, unless the hologram makes me go, and, I'm really not. If I wanted to go to Toronto, I can't go to Toronto. They don't have me going to Toronto. It's like, even if I set my own intention, write it down, we're going to Toronto, one thing will happen, and next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And, I won't go. I won't be able to go. It's like, people might say, well, you need to wear a tin hat or something because you're crazy. You're thinking you can't do what you should be able to do. Well, I know what I can do and what I can't do. And, I'll tell you that, they put things in my head, ideas, and they'll be there and fresh. And the next thing, 10 minutes later, they'll just wipe my mind clean. And, I'll be a blithering idiot looking for my glasses or something, and they'll be on my head, and I won't know that that's where they are, even though I just put them there. Or, I'll put the keys in my pocket, and, a few minutes later, I'll be wondering, looking around, where are my keys? And it's not, somebody might say, well, you need to see a doctor or something. I know because they talk to me. They tell me what they're going to do, and they talk to me telepathically, or they might use something called psionics. I don't know who they are. I don't know how they do it, but they do it, and they talk to me. So now I've got, whatever you call that when you hear voices in your head. And I do. I hear voices in my head, and they talk to me. They'll talk to me for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it's not really terribly interesting. But, they'll move my body. They'll do things to me. And then, it just proves to me that they're all in cahoots. So, as far as my life goes, maybe I'm like that one, the brother of the guy Better Call Saul on television, he believes it's all electronics and things. I'm not quite the same way, but I'm really much like Mr. Anderson in The Matrix. I think that, I'm very similar to Mr. Anderson in the Matrix. That was Keanu Reeves before he became Neo. And, I don't think I'm Neo. I'm just like Mr. Anderson, and my world is a hologram and it's controlled. And, I'm living in this simulated reality that sucks for the most part. And, As far as changing yourself, if the Matrix wants you to go and do something, well, you will do it. And you'll be given the idea to do it, and everything will fall into place. And if they give you the idea and they withdraw it, like they gave me the idea to go and apply for a job running a fringe festival in Thunder Bay, and it was taken away. I applied and they never sent me back any response. And when I followed up, there was really people just disappeared, and I don't see that anybody else has got that position. It was just something that was thrown into my mix to get me a little bit excited, and then it was taken away. And do I feel bad about it? Well, inside here, the little bit of me that's me is the one that experiences this all. And I'm used to it. I'm very used to it. And as far as the other things, the body and the mind, the memories of it all, it's pretty boring. It's pretty boring, and it's mundane. And even though I see things that are kind of used to be kind of wow, look at that, look at that. Now that I know how they do it with all this holographic technology, it's pretty humdrum. And it's like it should be possible for them to create much better simulations and create a lot of better things for people, better health. They shouldn't have your body is holographically controlled, and you should be able to have a very healthy body and a very lovely lifestyle, and you should be able to have you're not limited to the planet the size of what they tell you the globe of planet Earth is. The matrix is theoretically infinite, so I mean there's not like a lack of land. It's just that that's the way that they produce it for you, so that it appears like there's a lack of land. And the people or whatever it is, the artificial intelligence, whatever it is that has created this, is horrible. They're horrible, 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 horrible. And if I could pull the plug on it, I would. But I don't see a plug. I don't know how to get out of it. But that's the way I see the world. And as far as changing any of your chakras in order to go and influence it, no. Buying crystals or essential oils or praying to different gods. No, it doesn't. If something happens, it's because the Matrix is trying to fool you into thinking that that's what happens. But, it doesn't do anything in and of itself. It's just the Matrix playing a game with you. So that's how I see it. And, you can tell me, well, you need to go through some transformational program, go to Los Angeles and see something, we'll go and take a course, whatever. I don't know. I've been through many courses before I got to the point where I was convinced by the people that tell me what there's going on, that, maybe those things would work. But they are not going to work, because once you figure it out, that you're living in the Matrix and that everything comes to you, ideas, thoughts, everything that you're going to say, every person that you're going to meet, it's all set up by the Matrix and whoever runs the Matrix. You can't convince me of otherwise. That's the way it is. And, if you got questions, you can ask me. Maybe they'll give you an answer. Maybe they won't. They don't give me all the answers, but, this is basically, they're just letting you know what I know and what they told me. So, and who are they? Well, in my world, they go by the code name Rumpelstiltskin, which is sort of the same as the Rumpelstiltskin on ABC's Once Upon a Time. Although, sometimes they say that they're psionic computers, or maybe they're extraterrestrials or multidimensionals. They're not physical. I have not met them, but they do have ways of communicating with me, and somehow they're related to the Matrix that I live in and everything. And as far as history goes, it's very complicated how they do this, but whether there actually was a human history before you were born, well, maybe you were born to holographic parents that appeared to be human, but, you know, unfortunately, they're all holographically produced, as am I, and as are you. So, sorry if that sounds like weird, but, that's what I'm getting to tell you, and, there's your disclosure. I am called Bob Burrows, and I live in Thunder Bay, Canada. See ya.